Hey folks, Tony Lane along with John Foster here at the Hawks Nest. Boy, what a thrill to be to see our first overtime game of the year, the top 10 matchup in AA. You have the visiting Bluefield, they were the Beavers, the Bluefield Beavers, excuse me.
Yeah.
And they took on the Scott Skyhawks, the homestanding number 5 team in the state with the Twin Towers. And it was a battle of underneath the hoop tonight.
Right.
Only 1-3 by Bluefield, and that came in overtime or late in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And Dave Ward is the only one to connect on some threes for Scott, and he had 4 of them. But still.
Well, they were big ones too, Tony. That's why he was named our wvsportsnet.com in the game. I'm sure he'll be coming out of the locker room soon, as you can see people filing out of the gym behind us. But if it wouldn't have been for his 2 threes coming down the stretch, they wouldn't have got the overtime, because Bluefield really outmanned Scott in the second half. We really talked about it during the broadcast, and I mean, Ward kept him in it. Man, what a great game. We're glad to be here for this one. This is good.
Like you said, Bluefield, came out just a little stagnant there in the opening second half there. They got down to as many as 49-39 by 10 points. Then they came storming back. Right. It was like a little beaver, man. They were just kept nipping away, man, just chopping it down. Yeah. But, eventually they were able to take the lead at 45-43 with about 5 or so minutes to go. They erased that 10-point deficit quick.
Yes,
they showed their athleticism and their quickness. And like Coach Cabell talked with us before the game, it was all about cutting off that penetration and kick out, and we're getting them, making them work off the dribble a little bit there. And they did that. Then in overtime, Kyle Harris, their leading scorer of the night, wasn't able to connect on a couple shots down the stretch, and Scott was able to steal one.
Well, I tell you, man, that Kyle Harris, he was 32, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, he's probably the most athletic player on the floor, Tony. I mean, he done a lot of herky-jerky type moves, but I mean, he got his shot, and a lot of them went in. Man, what a big performance. You go down the line, Ward, Harmon, you look at Tully in the first half on the breakdown.
We'll go back to Tully here in a second.
Yeah.
What a game the first half that young man had.
Yes, he did. I mean, just quick off the break. Jesse Belcher played an outstanding game. I don't think for the most part Scott had a lot of turnovers. We don't have the official stats yet, but just being a common viewer of the game, Tony, I didn't feel like, that went towards the Bluefield Beavers side, as far as turnover battle.
I covered a game last night that had 27 turnovers by one team, and I assure you Scott was nowhere near that tonight. They did nowhere near. Jesse Belcher, just an absolute great field general. Yeah. He's only a junior. Kingley's got him coming back leading that, experienced backcourt next year. But what an asset that young man's going to be going into March Madness. He's got 2 years of experience now, about 2 full years under his belt. He's been our WVSN player of the game. He's very capable of it. That wasn't a fluke.
No.
He lives off momentum. His hands are everywhere. Intensity is his go-to word, I think.
Yeah, he had a steal down the stretch, Tony.
Yeah.
On this end of the floor.
Yeah, on number 10, Collier, the freshman.
Yeah, turned the game around. Probably won it for the Hawks. I mean, there was so many plays from about 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter all the way through overtime where Kingery saw his players rise up, and that's what he challenges them every day in practice, because they're going to get in them situations. They're not going to be all blowouts, Tony. Not all your wins are going to be blowouts. They got in that close game. It was back and forth. Luckily, his guys came out on top tonight.
Luckily for the Skyhawks, and unfortunate for the Beavers of Bluefield. Now they're 1-1. Both teams won on each home court. Next time they play, it'll be at a neutral site. So it's going to be, who knows what's going to happen there. I mean, we already know this is going to be an even matchup, and I wouldn't expect it to be a blowout on either a lopsided victory for either team during that time either.
I don't know exactly how they've redone the sections. It's a little different since I came through school, but I think the next time they'll see them will be probably in the first or second round of the state tournament.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and that's a good Bluefield team, Tony. I mean,
it could happen.
We good players.
That's a potential state matchup.
Absolutely.
Tonight.
Absolutely. And their schedule don't get no easier coming in. They got. I don't know exactly where they go and who they go, but I know they got Wyoming East at home, Polka at home. They go to Sissonville, and they have one more game.
It'll be the 18th on the home here next Friday. Wyoming East, the number 1 or 2 team in the state.
Yep.
They're very, very dangerous. A lot of people have them picked to win it all in AA this year. And then they got Polka in the Cardinal Conference game by Cuffy, the Cuffy kid.
Yeah.
Their top 5 team in the state. There's only a couple weeks left the game, so they got 2 big ones and not very much time to prepare for them.
No.
And that's exactly how it's going to be. In the state tournament, you're only going to have 1-2 days in between your first sectional game and your second one, or your first state game, second one. It could be back-to-back days. You got to be ready, prepared, and quick.
Well, Jason Kingery knows Wyoming East. How good they are, Tony. There's 2 banners hanging on the wall, and one of them was their state tournament team, their first state tournament appearance in like 66 years. Wyoming East took it to them, Tony. And I mean,
yeah, unfortunately I was there. That was my first Skyhawk game I ever witnessed.
Now it's a lot different team from then to now.
That's not even. I wouldn't even call that the same team.
No, it wasn't even close. So Jason's got his guys ready. Coach, good win for your guys tonight, but. Everything with him's short-lived, Tony. He'll forget this by in the morning, and he'll be back on the chalkboard.
He's already over it after that locker room speech, I assure you. He's already looking forward to that next game, and like you said, with the schedule he's got, he can't overlook anybody.
No.
Wins matter, whether you like it or not. Either the coaches vote for the seeding. You got to have a good record if you expect to get that number one seed. And number one seed is one thing they need because, they're worried about playing a team like Poca in the other section over there, matched up with Sherman and all them, Clay County and Tug Valley or whoever else is over there in that one.
Yeah, and we'll probably do a show on that, Tony, and break down the AA and AAA single A. We'll break that down for everybody because it's a little confusing with the new format. So
I know I'm lost. I mean, this is my first go around WVSSAC state tournament seeding, and a little different in Ohio, but we'll guide them through it.
Right.
But again, congratulations to Scott Skyhawks and Dave Ward with 19 points. He had 6 blocks. He had a few assists and plenty of rebounds. And he had some defensive pressure, too. I mean, other than the 6 blocks. He's got that long wingspan at the perimeter and down low. He can bring everything to you on the table from the defensive end.
And he wasn't the high man for the Hawks. And, we talk about it all the time, Tony. It's not necessarily being the leading scorer in the gym makes you the player of the game. I mean, the reason he was player of the game is the 2 threes he hit down the stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, he not only put his team back in, he put the crowd back in, he put me and you back in it. I mean, it was amazing watching that young man rise to the challenge. So congratulations, Dave, on being named the wvsportsnet.com player of the game.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back with Dave Ward, the young man, right back here on wvsportsnet.com.
Your sports voice of the Valley.
Tony Lane, John Foster, and this big guy beside us here. This is our WVSN player of the game, Dave Ward. Well, Dave, man, we finally got you on here, man. Congratulations on the first player of the game. And, you had 19 points. You had some big threes, including that last one there, going to force the overtime. What was going through your mind there on that one?
I just wanted to hit the shot for the team. I seen I was open and just jumped and hit it.
Just felt natural, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Dave, we've played in some open gyms with you, and you get up and down the floor real athletic. Was you ever nervous? I mean, you hit both them shots in the fourth quarter, put your team back in. I mean, the crowd was going crazy. Did it ever dawn on you that, hey, I'm the guy? I've just set this into overtime.
I like being that. Like, I like having to hit the last shot. That's just I'm nervous, but I'm not like nervous where I'm like jittery or have to. Like, it's just natural, I guess.
I understand.
It's natural for the young man here, as he just said. He's not too confident. We love that.
That's right.
But you guys had a tough loss at Bluefield earlier in the year. So now going to the state tournament, how does it feel knowing that you were capable of beating a top 10? We all know you were capable, but that you actually did it. You actually beat the top 10 team. You avenged the loss. How important is that to you guys?
It's going to give our team a lot more confidence going in, because their guard, I'm not real sure what his name was, but he was really athletic. He got up down the floor real well. Marshall Tully played great D on him. I think he held him to 21, which is not bad for an athlete like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Harmon, he played big. I had assists, points, drives. Matt played good. Will, defense. Jesse hit that big foul shot there at the end.
Mm-hmm. Circled around the wagons, he broke it all down for us there. We couldn't agree more with you. Big win for you guys.
Absolutely. Let's talk about team chemistry. Me and Tony get to go all over the state and cover basketball. We don't know if there's any two big guys that have the chemistry you and Harmon do. There was times in the first half you looked like you were going to shoot. Everybody collapsed to you. Is that just natural to dump that off to Harmon? Because he was wide open. it looks like you guys have done it before.
Well, we've been playing together since middle school. We didn't get to play a lot, but we've been playing like pickup ball. It's just when they collapse over me, you throw it somewhere near him, he's going to catch it. He's got great hands for a big guy, and his feet's getting better.
Well, we'd also have to agree with you on that one too. He's got them post moves down to an art, don't he? Yeah. He loves that drop step. Well, congratulations again to you, young man. Our WVSN player of the game, Dave Ward, with 19 points and 6 blocks. A defensive force underneath as well as an offensive force around the perimeter. Congratulations again to you. Tony Lane, John Foster, big guy here, Dave Ward. Keep it locked in here on wvsportsnet.com.
Your sports voice of the Valley.